6 months ago, I reacted to my first ever album on this channel, and I listened to IGOR by Tyler, the Creator. A lot of people who've been watching me from time now kind of know that when it comes to music and, different artists, I used to be very stubborn when it comes to different music and artists. I don't have the craziest taste ever, and I never really claimed to have the craziest taste ever, but I never really tried listening to other artists. I really just had my bubble. These are the artists I listen to, and you can't convince me to listen to anything else. That's kind of how I used to be. And over time, as I kept doing content on my main channel, a lot of people think this is my main channel. This is actually my second channel. I have a whole nother channel where I do other music content, I guess, on stream. So yeah, anyways, so anytime someone in my community would bring up Tyler, the Creator, or Mac Miller, or Frank Ocean, and all these guys I've never listened to, I would just kind of shoot it down and be like, you're weird because you don't listen to the music I like. And looking back now, it is kind of cringe. Obviously it was jokes a lot of the time, but I genuinely just was very close-minded when it came to music. It's kind of funny when I get like DMs and comments about people telling me like, bro, no way you have never heard this album before and you're a music creator. Yeah, you caught me. And again, that kind of just came with maturity and age and whatever, just me being weird, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I say all that to say, I finally decided to start up this second channel and react to music, expand my music taste. I wanted to just make a platform where I can just listen to music for the first time, give my honest opinions on it, and, experience it with you guys. You guys tell me a lot. I need to react to more albums. I'm working on it, guys. Trust me, I'm working on it. I'm trying. But seriously, I don't do a lot of edits on this channel. It's very just raw and just me talking about music, I guess. I'm still fairly new to like the reaction side of things and how it comes to music reactions. I remember at first it really just started off with me saying after every song I'd be like, I like the song, I'm moved, I don't like the song, next song. I didn't really know what to say or like how to actually take in the music, but I think over time I've kind of got better. I hope. I try to get better at least with how I actually, take in the music and understand what I'm listening to rather than just sitting there going, yes, good song, no, bad song. You know what I mean? That's something I've been trying to work on over the last few months. So I hope you guys have appreciated it. As always, I'm open to feedback. So if you have any feedback on how I do my videos on this channel, then let me know. No, but seriously, this is a new series I want to start where I just talk about the albums I've listened to and how they've aged for me, if it's been good, bad, if I'm still listening to the music, how I actually feel about the album 6 months later, rather than like on a first listen where, it's a first listen. So opinions change over time, either good or worse. I think it's kind of a fair length to where it's like, okay, this is enough time for me to indulge in the album, understand the album further, and actually have time to bump it in my real life, whether it's in the car when I'm driving or, playing video games or studying or editing videos, whatever the case may be. So the first album of this series is none other than IGOR, which was the first album I did on this channel. It has now been 6 months since I reacted to it, and I think it's time I talk about it and give you guys my true and authentic thoughts on how I feel about the project 6 months later. By the way, I don't know what I'm gonna call this series yet, so if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. So thank you in advance if you have any suggestions. A couple things to keep in mind about this series. This is not like a super in-depth bar for bar review. Like, I'm not Fantano, I'm not NFR Podcast. You guys can go watch them for that type of information and content. That's not really my thing. The majority of you watching this probably already know the story better than I even can. So who am I to sit up here and tell you what IGOR is actually about, right? There's millions of videos on YouTube about it. So if that's what you're here for, then sorry, this video might not be for you. This is just me talking from the heart about how I genuinely feel about the music and how it has aged for me over time. Yeah, I'm about to yap a bit, so if you guys enjoy yap, then, sit back and relax. If you don't like yapping, and you have a TikTok brain, well, you can click off the video. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Let's actually get into this album now. I'm gonna start off by saying this album not only made me want to actually start trying to expand my taste a bit more, but actually made me enjoy music a bit more for what it actually is, rather than just enjoying music just to listen, if that makes sense. I don't know if that really makes sense. Listening to IGOR kind of made me learn to appreciate music for the art of it and like the curation and the production and everything that kind of goes into an album, rather than just like, being outside at a club or something listening to music just, for fun, right? I hope that kind of makes sense. I don't know if I worded that too correctly, but anyways, okay. IGOR, what an album. Can I just say, What an album. Let me just start this by saying, where was this all my life? I know this is an album that gets a lot of praise and a lot of love, and it's one of those things that you genuinely don't understand it until you listen to it and really indulge into what's going on and what Tyler's talking about and the themes he's going through and everything. And genuinely, I can say with confidence that after listening to this album, Igor, and 6 months later now since that initial reaction, I am blown away with what that album is. I'm happy I listened to it, first of all, so thank you guys who all practically begged me to do it. Now, obviously, Igor hasn't been the only Tyler album I've checked out at this point, but just speaking from the perspective of the Igor album, I think when all things are considered and you look at what the album is trying to say and what the story is and what Tyler's trying to get across, it's very open. He talks about the different difficulties of love that he goes through and this loop of like falling in love, falling out with that person, falling back in love, and just this whole narrative. It's unlike anything I ever really listened to before. And I just think to put that into music is like something I'm not really used to as someone who'd never really listened to vulnerable type music before. Actually diving into this album and seeing what Tyler's trying to say, it's truly a great body of work, and I respect it for what it is. And I say all that to say, I don't want to lie to you guys, so you know, this video title is probably going to be something about like my honest thoughts and my honest truth, so that's what I'm going to be. I mean, fuck, the channel name is Chomp Too Real, so you guys know I have to keep it real all the time over here. When I first listened to Igor, like did that first video, after I uploaded the video, I don't think I listened to that album again for like weeks, bro. And it wasn't because like I hated the music or anything. It was kind of hard for me to find replayability in it because I was so focused on trying to understand like the story aspect and like what he's trying to say rather than just kind of enjoying the music for what it is as well. I don't know how music is for you guys when you listen to new music for the first time, but for me, I like to call it the click or the turning point. And it's that moment where there's a song or like an album that, you know, you don't hate, but you aren't super fond of it either. You're just kind of, you know, you respect it for what it is. But there's always that moment where once you have that click, oh my gosh, you just appreciate it so much more for what it really is. A lot of songs for me personally click when I see them live. That's kind of a thing for me. I've been going to a lot of concerts over the past year now, and a lot of songs I'm not the biggest fan of. Once I see them live or see like an album live, that's kind of my click. Like I'm like, okay, you know, this album's great, right? Like when I see a live band and all these type of things, that's kind of my click. But at first I didn't really have a click for Igor. It's like, you know, I enjoyed it, but that's about it. And guys, let me tell you what my click moment was. This is very random, I know. I was driving back home from a downtown trip I did, and I was playing the Spotify DJ. So you guys know the Spotify DJ, how it just like spits out random songs or whatever? Yeah, I was playing through those songs, and eventually a certain song came on, and bro, when I tell you, the vibe was just there. I don't know how to explain it. The vibe was there. You know, the sun was setting, like the speakers were speakering that day, you know, like the bass, like everything. It just all kind of fell into place. I was driving on the highway, wasn't many cars, and a certain song came on. Boy, when I tell you, I don't know what it was. I felt the song, like the synths, like I was moving. I'm like, hold on, like wait a minute. I think this is fucking peak. I don't know what it was. Like just something that day, just like boom, it just clicked. And bro, after that moment, I went back to Igor's theme, the first song, I played it front to back again. I'm like, okay, let me dive back into this and really take it in. Oh my gosh, I just felt it, bro. I remember on the Igor, I remember there was some comments on the Igor video. There was like a couple people that were like, bro, damn near cried, and all he had to say was, I like the album. Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny looking back at it because, you know, it was my first listen, you know, I didn't really see it for what it was fully yet. But I think what really made that click possible was just me being by myself, away from everything. No Twitch chat, no YouTube, no camera in my face. Just me in a car listening to an album. Like I instantly just understood it. I got what Tyler was trying to say, understood the themes, the vulnerability, you know, this whole thing about the looping love cycle, like it all just like, holy shit, like Yes. I know a lot of people who relate to this album probably a lot more than I do. You know, we're probably going through like some type of heartbreak or breakup, or, you know, going through something with somebody, like, you know, something like that. You know, thankfully, you know, I'm not dealing with that right now, but I can only imagine how you guys probably feel about it, who had this album during a breakup or some type of weird situation you're going through with a significant other. I could only imagine how good that click must have been. Just the sun was setting, I'm driving, like no one's really on the road, and bro, I just felt the music, man. Like I think, you know, I caught myself singing along to some of the parts that I kind of remembered, and from there on, I instantly got it. From that moment specifically, there was no questioning Igor anymore. That's kind of my moment where I was like, okay, yes, I understand it now. I understand the hype. I understand the love now. That was my moment. It's nothing too crazy. Like, you know, I didn't get my heart broken or nothing. Thankfully, right? But and I know there's probably so many of you out there who had this album during like a breakup you were going through, or like a tough time with a significant other that you were going through. And for those of you who do relate to that, that sucks. Because I'm feeling the album on this level, and I'm single as shit. I'm single as shit, bro. So for you guys, bro, oh my, I can only imagine. I don't wanna, you know, I'm sorry for you guys, I really am. But at the same time, it's like, bro, this music is amazing. It's like, bro, you won't get it until you get it. And bro, guys, I got it. I got it. Like, I actually got it, bro. And now I can't put this album down. Now that I kind of explained to you the click, I know this video is probably all over the place. Excuse my yap. This is the first time I'm really doing this. I'm just speaking my mind. I don't have a script. I don't have any points. I'm just talking. You know, these are my genuine, honest thoughts on how I feel about the album. So if it's a little messy, just allow me, you know, I'll get better at it. I'll get better at it. It's better when you just listen to the whole thing. Like listening to the entire album front to back really gets you involved with it. Whereas in Call Me If You Get Lost, for example, I feel like that kind of works better where you can listen to songs kind of one off. Like you can listen to a Wharf Talk by itself, or like a Dog Tooth, or like a Juggernaut, or like a What's He, like you can listen to those songs kind of one off. Whereas like Igor, it hits better as the whole thing, like front to back, it hits better. You're not gonna have to worry about skipping a song. The track list isn't bloated. It's very consistent. The production throughout it is absolutely flawless. And you know, you guys have seen the videos. Like at this point now, for me in this Tyler arc, there's no going back for me. I'm a Tyler the Creator fan, and I still have ways to go. I still haven't listened to like Cherry Bomb and Bastard and all this stuff. Every time I make a video on Tyler, the top comment is always something like, Cherry Bomb is the best music since the beginning of the sound, or some foolishness. And what's crazy to me is like, this isn't even my favorite Tyler album. If you saw the other reaction videos, you'll know which one's my favorite. This is only about Igor, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it as close to Igor as I can. But yeah, this technically isn't even my favorite Tyler album, but I think the fact that it isn't my favorite and it's still so damn good just says a lot to how good Tyler is as an artist. Like I think the way he reinvents himself on all these projects have been fantastic, and just being able to see his evolution from, I guess now I could say as far back as Wolf all the way up to Call Me, it's been great. Like I still gotta get into his deeper cut stuff. That day will come, okay? Hold your comments. I know you're asking. I'm gonna get to it, okay? Eventually, okay? I don't want this to just be the Tyler the Creator channel, you know? I gotta listen to other music too, guys. You know what I'm saying? Been falling in love. Like I said, guys, I'm single as ever right now. And I'm happy to be single, right? This album makes me want someone, even though I don't want anyone. Like, yeah, I think it's easily my favorite song. Like, I just love the production, man. Like, and you know, Igor going into like the mental state of how to feel in this relationship. You know, should I keep being vulnerable and open, and how this person's doing me? And like, eventually towards the end of the song, he kind of, he comes to the realization. He's like, I think I'm falling in love. Like, you know, he makes that connection. Yo, bro, as a single guy, this should not hit this hard. And then the Solange feature, like, don't even get me started on that. You know, we could sit here forever talking about this song, man. I think is flawless. It is genuinely my favorite song on this album. Next, I gotta talk about Running Out of Time. You know, this breakup, us going our separate ways, at this point, it's kind of inevitable. You know, it's gonna happen. And this is kind of like the turning point in the album in a way for me, where it's like, from here on out, we get a lot more tension and drama in the story, and you know, in this whole love sequence. Not everything's gonna be sunshine and rainbows. goes. You know, there's gonna be struggles, there's gonna be issues. And I think this is just Tyler's way of being open and vulnerable on the mic and actually saying what he truly feels. And you can genuinely tell during this track, like, this is Tyler's truth and this is what he genuinely feels. And this song does a fantastic job at painting that picture. Next, I want to talk about A Boy Is a Gun. On my first listen, I crowned this as my favorite song. It is still in my top 3. So if this is not falling on my top 3, I still do love A Boy Is a Gun. You have that Kanye-esque vibe to it. And I love the whole meaning of, like, even though a gun can be super dangerous, you know, it can also provide you that security, that protection. And you can also see the connection being made to love, where it's like Tyler knows all these dangers of falling in love, but is also seeking that sense of security, that sense of love. I briefly want to talk about Gone Gone Thank You. This was the first double like slash track by Tyler I heard, like the 10th song, and boy did I not know what I was in store for going forward with this series. Tyler has never missed for me yet on the slash tracks, the 10. I remember when I did the first listen, I believe I said like the higher pitched voice was my favorite compared to like the other voices he does on the album. And 6 months later, that's still my opinion on it. I love the switch up on the song, whereas, you know, before he talks about falling in love with this person and then, you know, the eventual breakup. And then I love how as you get to the end of the track list here, like track 10, you know, now Tyler's kind of shifting his perspective again, falling in love. Now, you know, the eventual breakup. And now Tyler's like, okay, you know, Tyler's questioning losing this love for this person and, you know, thanking them for the good memories and all, you know, the good time, all the love and stuff. You know, Tyler basically saying, you know, I don't think I'll ever be able to love again. And you can feel that pain in the track, and the energy carries right over into the next song, I Don't Love You Anymore, which the title is as self-explanatory as it gets. And then it's like, you know, we get into the whole like I'm over you thing, but then, you know, he's pretending, and, you know, this album just got a lot, bro. And like I said, I don't want to make this like a deep dive because I'm still finding new things about this album every day. I'm nowhere near as educated as you guys might be to be talking about this. So, you know, I want to say all that to basically say, like, even though I personally am not going through what Tyler's going through, the music does such a good job at portraying that and painting that picture where it's like I can see it myself and I can relate it to past experiences that I had going through the exact same stuff. It makes for an amazing experience. To answer some of those comments about like the whole, oh, you only said I like it, I did. But now I love it. And then we move into the last song of the album, Are We Still Friends? And it sums up the album perfectly. Literally sums up the album perfectly. It's an emotional roller coaster. I love the funky beat, like the guitar, the synths, man. The synths! Guys, did I mention I like the synths? Now, with all the good things I just said about the album, there is a few things that I'm not the biggest fan of. And I think it's also fair that we get into those to kind of address the few things that I'm not too big on this album. Starting off with something that I didn't like from the start, and I still am not a big fan of, is the Kanye West verse on Puppet. You know, like his vocals aren't the greatest. It's kind of hard to hear what he's saying at points. And I'm just not a fan of it, really and truly. It sucks because Puppet has one of my favorite beats on the album. It doesn't do it for me, guys. It really doesn't. Another song I want to address that I haven't fully come around to yet is New Magic Wand. I know that might be a hot take. I know a lot of the Tyler fans I've spoken to in my community, at least, some of you I've talked to on Twitter, really enjoy New Magic Wand. As a matter of fact, some of you have it as your favorite Tyler song ever. And let me say, I like New Magic Wand. I feel like there's something that you guys might see that I don't. Because the way I've seen it, people have New Magic Wand as like top 5 Tyler, top 3 Tyler ever. I don't see that. Like off the top of my head, I like I Think more. I like Rusty more. I like Sweet Shots. I Thought You Want to Dance more. I don't know if it's something like the longer time Tyler fans might like a bit more or what it is, but it's like a hardcore Tyler fan song. I feel like for those of you who are hardcore Tyler fans, I can see why you like that song so much and why you have it so highly rated. For me though, I don't know. I don't see it. Like, I think maybe if I were to like see it in a concert or something, because like that part alone in a concert would probably like do it for me. Like honestly, that would be my click for New Magic Wand, honestly. But yeah, I don't see what you guys really see. So, you know, feel free to let me in the comments know, like, you know, what is the thing with New Magic Wand that's so huge? Again, I don't hate the song. I don't know if that's the vibe you guys might be getting, but like, I just personally don't see it as top 5 Tyler, top 3 Tyler. And that's the take I've seen so much. I don't see it. I just think there's better songs on IGOR. I can't believe I didn't even talk about this song, but one thing I just want to kind of throw it in there. What's good? Yes. What's peak? What's good? Boom. Everything. Boom. Boom. Checks all the boxes. Boom. Boom. I love What's Good. Yes. What I want to do at the end of each of these episodes is rank the track list. So I'm gonna rank the track list. I'm gonna give you guys my ranking, my take on it. 6 months later, how I feel about all the songs in order, and I'm gonna do an overall global Chomp album ranking. Obviously, today's the first episode, so Igor will be the number one automatically because it's the only album. But as other albums reach that kind of 6 month mark, I'm gonna do like a global ranking and kind of rank just my personal opinion on how I feel about the albums, how they've aged for me, and just do like a favorite kind of list type of thing. I think it should be kind of cool, and I think over time, as I get through a lot more music, I'll have like this huge list of albums that I ranked, and you guys could kind of see like over time what really has aged best for me and what I'm kind of revisiting the most in my day-to-day life. Yo, next day Chomp here. I can't believe during my recording I forgot to mention Boyfriend. When I was making my list, I was going based off of the streaming track list, and I completely like Boyfriend just crossed my mind. So it won't be on the ranking, you guys will see, but holy shit, I'm so mad at myself for forgetting Boyfriend. Easily one of my favorite produced songs in the album, and like the whole thing where it adds that interlude at the end going into Running Out of Time, like it's beautiful. That first 30 seconds to a minute is absolute peak. I'd probably put around like that top 6 range. I think that's good. Like I love the piano throughout it, and this just feels like a Tyler production masterclass, throwing all the stuff at you. You got pianos here, synths here. It kind of reminded me of Glitter a bit off of Flower Boy. Yeah, just a quick little love to Boyfriend because, you know, Boyfriend praise, we are here for it. All right, so now we're gonna get into my tracklist ranking of the album and where I place each song on my list. You can disagree with me, I really don't care. You know, convince me in the comments why I should move things up or down, but let's get straight into it, man. Number 11, I have I Don't Love You Anymore. Don't get me wrong now, that second part with the vocals is absolutely beautiful. I'm just not really the biggest fan of like the I don't love you anymore. Like, you know, it's not my favorite thing ever, and there's a lot better moments on the album for me. Number 11, we have Puppet. Again, I don't know if this is a hot take, but like I kind of mentioned earlier, the Kanye part just really drags it down for me. I want to love that song, guys. I really do. If Kanye was cut, it genuinely could have been a top 5 cut for me off this album, but I just can't. Again, like I said, this is one of my favorite beats on the album, so yeah, unfortunately though, we do have Puppet. Number 9, we have Igor's theme. I think Uzi and Tyler did a phenomenal job at this song, especially opening up the album and setting the mood. I remember when I first listened to it, I was so drawn in already off the first track alone, and I think it does a great job at setting the tone. You know, with an album this good and this many good songs, some songs are gonna have to be pushed to the back of the list. Song number 8, we have Earthquake, the most streamed song on the album, and actually just crossed 1 billion streams. So I love Earthquake. I mean, well, you know, what more is there to really say about Earthquake? I'm not too sure how like longtime Tyler fans feel about Earthquake, as it's like super popular. I don't know if they, you know, if it has like that kind of overplayed syndrome for a lot of, you know, like what a lot of big songs have. But for someone like me who was super new to Tyler, this song wasn't overplayed for me at all, really. Anyways, number 7, this is where we have New Magic Wand. So I already talked about it earlier, so I won't talk about it much more here, but again, I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's just where I have it at. Number 6, this is where we have What's Good. Bro, I love What's Good, man. I feel like What's Good rarely kind of gets brought up in that conversation. Aggression, like the pocket Tyler gets into on this song, it's just really good, and it creates like this high intensity like energy vibe that the song comes with, and bro, I just love it, bro. Like this part right here, like it's just so good. I could go on forever about the production. Number 5, this is where we have Running Out of Time. Again, I talked about the song a bit earlier, but Running Out of Time is just, it's fantastic. Make you love. Number 4, this is where we have Are We Still Friends? You know, how it loops back into Igor's theme at the start. It just, I absolutely love Are We Still Friends, man. But again, I already kind of gave my thoughts on a bunch of these songs, so I'm just gonna skim through these here. Number 3, this is where I have the 2-part track, Gone Gone / Thank You. Peak. Tyler 2-part song, yes. I Need It, yes. 911 Mr. Yes. Sweet Shots I Thought, yes. Some Bimmer Campfire, yes. Come on, bro, like let's be serious, bro. Quickly, this became one of my favorite song series that an artist does. Absolutely phenomenal. Number 2, Boy Is a Gun. I said what I need to say about Boy Is a Gun. Absolutely love it. And that means our number 1 song, my number 1 song for Igor is I Think. This is easily the song I've been revisiting the most. It just gets me in that dancey, groovy mood. I absolutely love I Think, bro. It's like every time I listen, it becomes better and better and better over time. I could see why this album gets so much love now, because, I mean, it's deserved, you know? It's deserved. I give credit where it's due. I've lived with this album for about 6 months now, and, you know, once I had had that clicking moment, man, I haven't dropped it. It really is what people make it out to be. Now for the overall album ranking chart, like I said, this is obviously the first album I'm doing in this series, so it's going to by default be number 1. So Igor, let's add it to the top of this list. Oh, closing thoughts on Igor 6 months later. How do I truly feel about this album? My honest, genuine thoughts on this album. This album is beautiful in all points. It checks all the boxes. What Tyler managed to do on this album is genuinely amazing, and looking back now, I'm so thankful that I reacted to it, because like I said earlier, you know, there's a lot of good music that I have not listened to. So the fact that this was the first one, it set the bar extremely high. I think going forward, I'm definitely looking forward to see what he's gonna do. I remember someone telling me he drops every 2 years. What the? PC specs command? Bro, I'm not even live. That would technically mean that I should be getting a new Tyler album next year. I will definitely be there. I will be tuned in. Any singles, videos that he drops, I will definitely be there. TST, you guys can officially say you put me onto Tyler, the Creator. I'm a huge fan of his music, his artistry, and all the thought process, the creation that goes into the albums, him reinventing himself each era. It's really beautiful. I do want to kind of do more genres too, so if you guys have any other genres you want me to check out, give me something. Like, I'm open to anything at this point. You guys know all the good albums anyway, all right? So just keep sending me good albums. They've been phenomenal so far. So I think to answer the grand question of this video, how has Igor aged for me? And to answer that question, Igor has aged gracefully. It has aged like fine wine, and it gets better with each listen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is definitely something different. I want to do more videos like this, so give me your honest thoughts on it. What do you think about it? Do you guys enjoy when I just yap to the camera? Let me know what you think about it. Thank you guys as always for watching, and you know the drill. Comment what album I should check out next.